Okay,
Let me
okay.
ask you
So
this first of all. Like, do you have a main account? Like a main account?
main account. No, not really. Like
Not
I
really.
mean, did the best one? I guess the one which is highest is this one currently. Um, and like probably the most I climbed in my life was silver one.
I see.
Uh,
Was it this account? No. You have so many accounts.
yeah, it was this account, I guess.
Okay. Oh, you picked silver. Okay, that's fine. Okay,
Main
so yeah, first of all, I'm curious what makes you want to become better at the game, right? I'm really curious. What's your, why do you want to become a better league player?
I just wanna like I don't know, like the game makes fun, definitely,
Mm-hmm.
and the more I learn, makes more fun. I know that I'm not gonna be any kind of a gamer because like my life cannot be like that
Okay.
because of other responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I mean, I started this game in season 3 or something, and I always played in my leisure times when I'm high or drunk or something, and it didn't, of course, like I didn't improve. And now it feels kind of weird. I mean, I can do many things in life, but like being successful in a game where little children can also succeed is also embarrassing. Right? So then I have to prove myself I can do that to a certain extent. Like I don't want to
Okay.
become like master or something, but I maybe like platinum, emerald, something like that. But then
Super
I
manageable,
say,
right? Sounds super manageable. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, you want to prove to yourself. That's a really good mindset. Like, just prove to yourself, hey, look, I can climb as well. It's something possible. That's good mindset to have.
yeah, and like the more I learn about the game, it feels like because like previously I was thinking, yeah, this is a fucked up easy game. I'm just not playing enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then the more I played, I realized that it's not a fucked up easy game. The game is living for more than 10 years for a reason, and the reason is they have a good like balanced and actually a complex game which you there are multiple points you have to improve yourself, and then
Yeah.
it became more interesting and try to then I made this goal of like reaching a certain level. I don't know what that will be, but like yeah,
Yeah, that's.
somewhere around high gold and low emerald would be fine for me, I guess.
I mean, that's the first step, right? Just see that you want to improve and see how you can improve. Okay. So, what game should we review? Maybe just a random one. Let's say this one. I mean, the game I don't think
Yeah,
is that
like a
important.
misfortune game would be better, I guess.
Okay,
Like
sure.
um yeah, like
Let's see. One does
one of
not do
the
one-sided. Let's look at this. So do one-sided or whatever. I don't know. Let's see. This one probably. This one might
these
be
are
good. Maybe
okay. Yeah,
this
because like
one.
these are a bit old, that's why I don't know anymore like how I performed really. But
But it should
I
be
think,
this season, no problem. This patch. Yeah.
yeah, these are this season
Yeah, it's fine,
definitely.
no problem. Let's see. Is this super one-sided? It's hard to say. I don't think it will matter. Let's see this one maybe. This one looks closer. 23 minutes though.
I guess 5 deaths are the threshold for me. Like if I have 5 deaths, then I definitely throw the game.
I mean, yeah,
But
don't
like
wanna
there are a
die.
lot of games also like I've won after having our base completely open.
Yeah,
But because
for sure.
I never surrender, like I
That's
mostly
good.
never.
That's good. That's good. Oh, this is. Oh, I actually don't know which one to check. It's crazy.
In the other thing, I knew which games, but then in this one I already forgot. These are last week.
I
Let
might try this one.
this one.
I could do it pretty decently
The
well. Why
defeat
not?
is a better thing, I guess, to work on. Well,
Yes
yeah,
and
this one. Yeah, I
no.
guess that one was good.
Okay, yeah, it's like doesn't really
Um,
matter. Maybe we can look at this. Yeah, why not?
because like I had some decent kills, but I was tilted because of Bard. I was not able to reach Ezreal
Mm-hmm.
probably, and then I threw the whole thing, and Bard kind of made my ults look funny, and it was yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the beginnings. Okay. Um, before you start a league game, what do you do? Do you think about the game at all? Do you scroll social media? What do you do?
Yeah, probably WhatsApp or something, but not really, or like most of the times, like nowadays in the last 2 weeks, so to say, I'm watching some videos. I also watch some videos from you, or maybe from this Misfortune DB account. Maybe you know him
I
also.
think I remember that name, yeah. So basically, you're
Yeah.
not really thinking about the game loading screen, right?
Not really. I start thinking about the game when the draft screen comes. Like when we start picking champions, the first thing I do is try to get the first pick so that Misfortune is not gone, because it's mostly even either banned or first picked this season somehow due to lethality boost, I guess.
Okay.
Um.
So okay, let's start reviewing. So my goal today is to see some really some mistakes you make, some bad decisions, bad habits, and turn them all
Mhm.
like into really good habits, things you
Okay.
can do automatically without even thinking about it. That's our
Yeah.
goal. That's how we improve at league, right?
Okay.
So let's
Yeah.
see. Let's see how you play. How you perform. Let's find some of those mistakes. But first of all, first mistake I would say, and I want to have a habit from now on to
Mhm.
just try to analyze the game, analyze the matchup. Loading screen starts. We try to look at the champions, summoner spells, and so on. Try to see what you can do. Try to make a plan for yourself. Try to look what abilities are dangerous to you, right? Because if you do that, you're just gonna be more prepared in lane, and you'll know exactly what to do, right?
Yeah, definitely that makes
So, for
sense.
example, look in this lane, right? It's you and Maokai versus Ezreal and Bart, right? So let's talk about Ezreal and Bart. What do they have? What's powerful about them? What's their strongest ability? What can they do to you to stop you from killing them, for example?
Bart can definitely either slow me or stun me,
Okay.
and Ezreal can always jump away.
Or jump
Um,
in, maybe, right? But we only care
yeah,
about Bart Q, right? Bart stuns us, right? So you don't
yeah,
want to get hit by that. If you don't get hit by that, it's like, yeah, I can move, I can hit, I can whatever, right? That's the
yeah,
important stuff. Okay. What about you and Maokai? What do you have?
yeah.
That's really strong?
Yeah, if Maokai roots, I can deal my whole damage.
Yeah. So
And
basically Maokai root, right?
sorry,
So basically the Maokai root, right? That's what you
root.
have. That's
Yeah,
super strong. Okay. So in this lane, like in League, exactly because you mentioned like League is super complex, complicated, and so on, right? I know it's true. It's true. There's so many things in the game, but that's why I try to simplify the game for myself as much as possible, right? So to
Mm-hmm.
me, in this lane, for example, I don't care about their champions or whatever. I only care about they have Bard Q and we have Maokai root. And that's
Mm-hmm.
it. Like the rest doesn't really matter to me as much. Not as important, right? That's the most important part. Because, for example, Bard misses Q. Suddenly you know, hey, they don't have the strongest ability. We do have ours. We have Maokai root. We could maybe look for a fight. We could do something. We don't have to be afraid anymore, right?
Yeah.
So this is why I make this plan always. I just know what they have, and if they don't have it up, we know we are stronger, right?
Yeah, this is mostly what I think about. Like this is, I guess, one of the first things you could imagine. I do that, but of course, when their Q is down, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and I find a window to engage or like at least harm the enemy, and my support doesn't do anything. I guess this was one of those games.
Okay,
Maokai
okay.
was rather passive, and I was so frustrated that he is passive. Like he only made a play once, I guess, and I got a double kill, and he then stopped doing anything again. I mostly push for level 2
Yeah,
if my
I want to ask you like what your game plan is here, right? Because I'm curious to see like what do you do in early laning phase, right? So do you go for the level 2 often?
yeah, I mostly go for the level 2 and
Okay.
then hope that my support also plays with me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Mostly they don't, but somehow all the opponents, if they hit level 2 first, they of course jump on us. But yeah, I don't know. This is again something.
Okay.
Uh,
So let's talk about the habit you can form as well in this case, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my prediction based on what you said is the fact that you're not really communicating with your support. And I don't mean chat. I play with chat off as well, right? I mean,
Yeah, I
do you
have
ping?
chat off since a month now.
Okay.
Like previously, I was like trying to, chat with the guys or like inform the guys about what they have to do or some trying to do controller of the game, which never worked, of course. Then
But you gotta understand that the chat isn't really helping with controlling the game, even though it's easily
yeah, of
cleared,
course.
right? But
I already got that.
this is why like disabling it is good. I agree with that. But there's something else we can do, right? We can ping, and pinging is super, super, super effective. And most of the time, people just listen to pings because you ping. But if you ping when you're supposed to, they just listen. They go. You know, they see it works, then they listen every time to your pings, right? So, for example,
That is a good idea. But
right?
when I ping, when I'm, for example, CSing or trying to engage, I mostly get distracted and do something funny. That's why I do it when I can. But for example, I also like mix them. Like when I try to ping, like get away, like fall back, I do something like bait, and then it's of course like misleading. So in those cases, I try to avoid it if I'm like running to a place or trying to escape or something.
Okay.
It's like
So let's see. I handle this also. Okay. So far, it might not be super obvious for you what's happening right now in the lane, but basically, you know, in this position, I would say, yeah, we could get level 2 here, right? We just get rid of these 3 minions, one of them here, and boom, we get level 2, right? And they still have like 3 casters, 3 melees, we are ahead. Okay.
yeah.
So when we recognize this, what we can start doing already is we can, you know, ping on the way, on there, on them, and shove the wave. Ping on top of the way to shove it, and then on the way on them. You can do like one of each. It's good. Your support knows your intention now. They know, look, we get the level 2 and go in. They know instantly, right?
Yeah.
And also, when it comes to getting level 2, right? There's a really nice rule you need to remember. It's basically, if you are going to get level 2, you don't want to use your abilities right before you get level 2, right? Because if you press Q before you get level 2, suddenly you don't have Q like for the level 2 itself, right? That's another thing. And another thing you can do also, if you, let's say there's like 1 or 2 more minions left alive, you can already start walking up towards them, right?
Yeah.
And in this case, if you look, we pause right now, right? First of all, like we use that Q a bit, maybe too early or like a bit too late. Maybe you don't have Q for level 2 now. 3 seconds, let's say it's fine, acceptable. But right now, if you analyze the wave, they have 2 minions to kill. They have 2 minions and 1 more because you have 4 casters. And you only need to kill like 1 more to get level 2, right?
Yeah.
Which means you can start walking up. Right? You can just start walking up. Because if you start walking up sooner, Ezreal can't even farm, can't do anything, right? But instead, if we stay behind here, it's like you have level 2, but he doesn't, and he doesn't even get punished, right?
But like the fact that Maokai is behind me kind of distracted me again.
You can't understand how supports. So basically, this I tell people this like this it's kind of funny, but you need to think about your teammates in a way as like dogs, right? But in a positive way. And by that I mean dogs don't really know what they're doing, and when they make a mistake, you can't really be mad at them because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's your job to like guide them, to maybe show them what's good and what's not good, right? So in this case, how do dogs like learn very well from people, for example, right? They learn from body language a lot, right? So if you in this position, when there's like 1 more enemy minion left, right? If you right now, if you just start walking forward, there's no doubt in my mind that Maokai won't help you. Like Maokai will just walk with you if you just start walking forward now, right?
Yeah,
because
probably.
If you walk up here, like he will just follow you. He will go up. He will just walk up. And if you do that, even if you can't engage because Maokai is still too far, at least Ezreal is not farming, right? It's still way better than getting the level too early and not doing anything with it, right?
Yeah. And I canceled that auto there, probably.
Yeah, we won't focus much on mechanics, they're not that important, right? And okay. Another thing I want to mention. So basically, hope you can see how I'm basically telling you some like nice and easy to follow rules. You know, don't
Yeah.
use abilities before level 2, or when there's like one more minion, you can start walking up. And another rule you can add to that, right? After we push the second wave, for example, and you want to hit the third wave like this close to their turret,
Yeah.
what could happen is that, you know, Vi does raptors, and then they see you push here, and then Vi comes through here, and boom, you're ganked, you're dead, right?
Yeah.
So another nice rule to have, if you want to do something here or like next to their turret, you need to check, okay, do I know where the enemy jungler is? If the answer is no, okay, do I have wards? Right? If the answer is no, try to get vision, right? Because you do have a ward up. So that's a nice and easy rule to follow. Never do anything close to their turret unless we have vision. Because otherwise we risk dying to ganks and it's super annoying. Junglers do 3 camps into gank. It is what it is, right?
Yeah. If it's this early, I mostly don't care that much in this elo because like junglers are most of the time not able to do that before like 3:30. But again, like yeah, I mean since I have
You never know.
Maokai, sorry?
And it's like you never know if they do it or not. But another reason why it's super good to do it is because it minimizes the time you have where you're not doing anything. Because right now, after you get these minions, we can count like up to maybe 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Instead of getting stunned, I could
6,
ward definitely.
7, 8, 9. It's like 10 seconds of you doing nothing really, right? So the
Yeah,
last
I
10
was
seconds
probably
you did
getting
nothing.
mad at Maokai
Yeah,
because he
you
didn't
I think you
rage.
pinged him, you got mad, right?
Yeah.
But it's like you could have walked forward, he would have walked with you.
Yeah.
If you didn't ward, you would have gotten hit by the Q, right?
Yep.
And it's like we wasted like 10 seconds doing nothing basically. Even though we got level 2 first.
Yeah.
So imagine we spend the time warding now, so you don't have to do it later, right? Because wards, you know, last for more than a minute, so warding early is fine. And yeah, for you, I would say like I would like to show you how teammates in a way they don't really matter as much, right? Unless there's like some extreme cases, teammates don't matter as much as you might think, and that's gonna become super obvious hopefully when we go into the mid game. But already in laning phase, I hope you can see how you can actually influence your teammates by how you play.
Yeah, I can definitely do that better. Like that's for sure. Like,
So
most of the times, like I think like the best way to make them do something is like by solo dropping Ezreal's HP bar to half, and then they get okay, now they're in kill range, but before that they do nothing. So then my aim is mostly to like try to tackle my way out of like the situation by like damaging somehow, getting some damage done on the opponent, so that my support gets some courage.
okay.
But that doesn't work always.
So let's talk a little bit about you damaging them. Okay. So the reason I want you to like always make a plan in loading screens because again I said if bar doesn't have Q, it means we could do things. We're stronger, right?
Yeah.
And here is a perfect example of Bard is using Q on your support.
Yeah.
And now it's like they have nothing. So how come we are stepping back instead of hitting Ezreal or Bard, right?
I always like, but since I'm mechanically not that good, I try to avoid Ezreal Q by staying behind the creeps most of the times, but I couldn't do that obviously here.
Yeah, but again, this is why I like to simplify a league. We only care about bar Q in this case. Like the Ezreal Q, sure, whatever. You walk up, you basic, you have press the attack, you still win the trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because bar does have Q, it doesn't exist, so you just win. And this is why I only focus on like what's super important, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Bar doesn't have Q. We instantly know, hey, we can trade. We can do things now. We're stronger. If
Yeah.
Ezra wants to trade back, then Maokai still has his strongest stuff. So he's gonna engage if Ezra trades back with you, right?
Mhm. Hopefully, yeah.
Most likely. And another thing I want to mention is you said like your mechanics are not that good, and that's fine, right? It's okay. Everybody has different mechanics. You can like for sure improve mechanics, but only up to a point. And knowledge is more important, and that's why mechanics they don't matter as much. Knowledge and what you think about in a game and how you take that's way more important, right? So you don't really need
Mhm.
to think of mechanics as a thing holding you back. No, it's fine. That's why Yumi players can get master and above, right? They don't have mechanics, they play Yumi, but they have more
Yeah.
knowledge, right?
Yeah.
If that
Yeah.
makes sense. So in this case, for example, what we are trying to do is put ourselves in a position where mechanics actually don't matter. Like we are just winning the fight altogether because Bard used Q and Maokai still is his strongest ability, whatever, or something like that. Or in mid game, if you want to take a fight that's 5 versus 4 and you recognize the 5 versus 4, your mechanics don't matter. You go in, you right click, and you win because you have more numbers, right? And that's what we're trying to create. We're trying to create some really nice moments where it doesn't really matter how we play because we just win because those
Okay.
situations are so good.
Mhm.
And here we could talk a little about um, how to create one of those at the beginning. And basically, let's say the wave is right here, right? And
Mhm.
Maokai wants to go in. Do you think he can go in or not?
He could engage on Bard, which is not very good, of course. For that, he will probably not do that. But yeah.
So it's like he can't really engage on Ezreal, he's under turret, and Bard is like kind of there, almost
Yeah.
under turret, right? So it's like if you want your Maokai to engage here or whatever, you need to allow him to do it. So you can do that. Again, you could control your teammates. You could control him when you go level 2. If you walk up, he would walk up with you. And in
Mhm.
this case, if you want him to engage, it's your job to control the wave in such a way that he can actually engage. Because if the wave is pushed like this, he can never really engage. Let's be honest, right? He can engage under the enemy turret.
Yeah, but here I guess I don't care about engaging anymore. I just want to crash the wave and do a cheater recall probably like right before they come back.
Okay.
Because I'm already convinced that he's not playing with courage or something. I don't have any hopes on him. So probably in this phase, my idea. I mean, I mostly do this like 3 wave crush and then direct the recall to get like hopefully a Dirk or not.
Or a
If
Courier, I
sorry, no,
think.
no. What about Dirk? To get a longsword and hopefully a potion or something. If that works.
Okay,
And
but
yeah.
let me ask you this. Have you ever tried to play without doing a cheater recall? Have you ever tried to see what happens?
Mostly no, because mana management in Misfortune doesn't let me really. By the way, I mostly played Dark Harvest Misfortune
Mhm.
until now. I newly switched to press the attack, and that only like previously I was playing like 90% Dark Harvest and 10% PTA when they have like 3 tanks or something or bruisers, just to like have some crit build.
I
But
mean,
other than that, it
you're
was
the
Dark Harvest, which didn't let me get that mana back, so that like I was basically recalling to get mana.
okay. So like builds and runes and those are personal preference. They're up to you.
Mhm.
When it comes to mana management, I mean, I don't think runes matter that much when it comes to mana, right? But right now, you're like more than half mana, so it's like you don't really need to recall right now, right?
Yeah, actually not.
Right? It's like you measure mana quite well here, I would say. Right? There's no real
Yeah,
reason
in
to
this
recall, right?
in this game mostly yes.
Because what reason is there to use abilities right now, right? So
Uh, yeah, push fat. Yeah, I always have that like mindset. Okay, like cheater recall is always a good option because it gets me like isolated from support, get more items to make my lead even better. But like I don't know, maybe it's not a good option all the time because it also lets the opponent ADC farm freely.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
but
And
like on the other hand, we get caught to the jungler so often. When we overstay here, like for example, for the fourth wave, if we stay, it's like 50% of the time the jungler is there, of course, right?
okay,
They're
but
not.
remember how I told you to ward after the second wave, right? If you
Yeah,
ward
yeah,
after
but
the
like
second, it's like
that ward is not sufficient.
uh,
If we are there under turret, we cannot run
how
back.
about you ward deeper then? You know, you just ward here then. Right? What's stopping you really, right?
Like good idea, but what if he comes from his jungle?
I mean, after second wave, it's not here yet, for sure. Because
Okay.
when you were pushing the second wave, he was just doing raptors. There's no the enemy jungler has
Okay.
time, right? So after the second wave, this I emphasize it a lot. After second wave, you have a lot of time to just ward everywhere you want, right? It's crazy.
Okay.
And
Yeah, but
also,
I can only ward one place, right? So I can either ward the Tri on their side or I can ward the river.
well, this comes down to again playing with your team and your support. And if you after second wave you just go here and place a ward, and then you ping need vision here while you go ward here, your Maokai is like, wait, MF is warding, MF is pinging, I should ward here. Yeah, I'm gonna ping here or ward here, right? There's no doubt in my mind your Maokai won't do it for you. For sure he will.
Yeah, but
For
like,
sure.
what if they already spent their wards in the wave phase? Like mostly they do it. Like in
But he
this case,
didn't.
okay, but
Right?
like general example, like I'm not allowed to stay under their turret if we don't have those two wards, right?
It depends on information or the information you have, right? But in this case, you have no information. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, wording here might not be enough. But maybe because you're MF, you have E, maybe it's enough, but it's hard to say. But that's just important. But let's talk a little bit about like the situation you're in right now, right?
Yeah.
So you could say you're in danger of getting ganked, but it's like if you were doing a cheater recall here, like you would be pushing this wave in and the recalling,
Yeah.
right? It's like, why would you do that if the wave is now slowly pushing towards you? And if the wave is slowly pushing towards you, it means you're suddenly going to play on your side of the lane. Suddenly you're allowing your Nocturne to gank because he's on bot lane. And suddenly your Maokai is useful because you're not under the enemy turret, right?
Yeah.
So there's more ways to deflect a gank than just seeing where the enemy jungler is, than warding, right? Wave management is huge when it comes to that. Right?
Yeah, like my strategy is mostly like I also don't like think that like getting up to gold or something should not be so hard. Like then I say to myself, okay, like I will do some basic things. I will get good at it. I will get the gold, and then I will think about the rest, something like that. But like, of course, this cheater recall is like a no-brainer, right? You do it works. It's risk-free most of the times. But of course, there are better ways. You're right. Like, yeah,
Right, like
I
right
could
now you
try
can't
that.
recall, right? There's no way to do a cheater recall here. Like this lane, I would say like this is really good for you right now. You get this minion on level 3. Hopefully Maokai is level 3. Although I think he lost the minion. It doesn't matter as much though. But it's like, you know, right now if you watch the map, right, your jungle is bot, the wave is pushing towards you. I think you're in a great spot. You might get ganked by your jungle. It's really good, right?
It's actually a good spot. Yeah, I mean,
Right?
like
And getting a cheater recall down here like doesn't really make sense, right?
no, no, like I also don't do it. I guess here. So
Yeah, here for sure you don't, right? But let's talk about like your future games if you wanna do it or not, right? If you have like some clues that indicate you don't need to do it, for example, your jungle is bot, the wave can actually push towards you because they have more minions, you know? If
and I have
those
mana.
happen, right? If you have mana, if those are like true, you don't really do a cheater, you just stay, you're in a really good spot, right?
Yeah. But I also like heard from one of your latest videos that like doing it. Oh, okay, this was the first place he engaged. Okay.
Okay, so, you know, in this situation, let's see what's happening. Maokai engages on Bard, right? you know
Yeah.
that's not really good, right?
No.
But let's see how you react, right? You now don't have your strongest ability, they do have it. Let's see how you react. Hopefully you go for Ezra. You go for Ezra, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, suddenly it looks like...
I'm 1v2 again, but Nocturne comes, but of course doing nothing.
I just want to show you how nothing that happens here like really matters, because you're in such a good spot. Wave is in a good spot. Your Nocturne is bot, right? Even if they chase you down, Nocturne is bot. You do this, like you put yourself right now by keeping the wave like this in a good spot, like we mentioned before, in like a 3v2 spot. So no matter what happens here, you win, right? And I also want to say is that, you know, Maokai engaging on Bard, it's not that good, right?
No.
But at the same time, he's got Aftershock. He goes on Bard, instantly turns on Ezreal. You turn on Ezreal. And suddenly, you know, it's
He
not
gets
that bad,
stunned.
right? It's not that bad. Maokai trading HP with Ezreal is pretty worth it for you. Supports
Yeah,
have more
yeah.
potions than ADCs. Right?
Sorry? What is?
Supports have more potions than ADCs. Supports start with like 2 potions. ADCs only with 1, right?
Yeah.
It's like trading this is like really, really good, right? And besides that, again, Maokai, I mean, option is a bot, so it's like trading HP here is perfectly fine, no big deal, right?
But
Unfortunately,
we also get
no.
a decent amount of damage.
You know, here is like in this situation, right? The moment you know Maokai leaves, you can't really go 1v2, right?
Yeah, those are the exact moments I refuse to be reasonable. Just
You just go in.
but and I think that okay, I managed the wave well. I have more power in the early game. Why don't we kill them? Like I'm really focused on this, but I have to stop doing that. Of course, if Maokai runs back, I have to run back, like because it
Like
doesn't
this
bring
is a
me.
win. Right now, this is a win. This is good.
Good.
You won here, right? But you don't want to
Yeah.
over trade 1v2, right? Because then it's just super, super awkward.
Which is the case right away.
You see how we are playing 1v2 here.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
And then I hope they kill him. They don't.
But this is actually a perfect example of...
I threw. Yeah. Also myself. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I probably also die here because I'm grieving. I know I didn't somehow.
Another thing I want to tell you is that, you know, when something happens in lane, your support dies, whatever, try not to be too greedy after that. Like, let the wave come towards you, or if it's a really bad spot, just recall. It's fine, right? Don't make it worse, basically. That's also important to remember.
Yeah. I mostly overstay when the enemy wave comes into my turret. And if they have enough range, I get killed. That's another weak spot. You see here.
So, exactly like when something like this happen, like your sport dies, whatever. You know, we're talking about good habits, right?
Yeah.
Remember, whenever your support dies and you're alone lane now, look at the wave, or is this wave pushing towards you?
Yeah.
Okay. So if the wave is pushing towards you, does it matter if you take the wave now or like 10, 15 seconds later under here?
Like doesn't change much, but I'm too afraid to lose the XP on that low health melee minion probably. I'm really like that. I'm okay. It's not even the case, but like these are always going in my mind. Like I have to maximize the efficiency, and by thinking about that, I overcomplicate things and I fuck up most of the times.
Okay, so let's talk a bit. I should do go for red only. Okay. Basically, this is what we're going to talk a lot about today, and that's like playing with teammates and tempo. And basically, when you're outnumbered, you never try to engage, you never try to do anything. And that's a rule every single time in League, no matter what the situation is. And right now, you can clearly see you're 1v2, right? And if you know that, you don't even try to farm, never. You never ever even try to farm because you get punished, right?
Yeah, and my mentality is mostly okay. This is a bronze silver game. They're not gonna be able to punish, so I will like profit from that. And in this case, I don't. It's of course like disastrous then. What happens?
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
Yeah, you're definitely right. I'm trying to get that habit. Like it's,
yeah, no, it's
I
it's
will
good.
lose. I will lose some things. Like I have to accept that.
Yeah, it's good that you see, like we see your mistakes, right? And we take notes of these mistakes and we try not to repeat them. That's how we improve, right? It's good. Like mistakes are the first step of improving. If you never make mistakes, there's nothing to improve, right?
Yeah, like definitely. Like I'm
Okay.
totally aware, but improving is always the harder thing.
Okay. So let's see what happens next.
And then I mostly try only to last hit, keep this wave here, and of course get mad at supports whenever they try to hit the wave in this
Okay,
position.
let's talk about this position a little bit. So right now, let's talk about your two options basically. Last hitting only or just shoving, right? Let's think about what's happening if you do that, right? If you last hit only here, what do you think is just gonna happen next?
It will slowly push towards them, probably.
Okay, so we only last hit this wave. Where do you think the next wave is going to crash? Meet the other wave?
Like somewhat the parallel of this one currently.
So basically like here?
Yeah,
Okay. So
not sure. Like I don't know.
it's just like an estimation, right? Around here, because
Yeah.
look how far the wave is. Okay. So if the slow only last hit, then the wave is here, right? Okay, let's look at the map for some informations. Like for example, Nocturne is doing this, enemy jungle is nowhere to be seen, right?
Mhm.
So we could argue, yeah, maybe enemy jungle is around here, or whatever.
Mhm.
So if you only last hit here, and the next wave crashes here, well, now we're playing under like close to enemy turret. We don't have vision here. Enemy jungle could be bot. Not the greatest spot, right?
Yeah, if I pass middle of the lane, I try to hard push. But if I'm on my side, I try to let as many of my minions die so that I deny them to the opponent. That's my hope at least,
Okay,
because I lost something, they have to lose something.
okay, but
Uh, but that's not gonna happen, right?
yeah, this that just talked about like you only last hitting, right? Your wave would be
Yeah.
here, and jungle could be here. You have no vision. It's kind of awkward, right? Let's talk about what happens if you just instantly shove this wave, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next wave comes, you hit this already. The next wave is here, you are hitting it already here, right?
Yeah.
You shove the wave, you get this really quickly, and
Yeah.
then the wave hits the turret, right?
Yeah.
So if the wave hits the turret, what does it mean for Israel?
They're pinned to the turret.
Yeah, they have to stay turret or they lose minions, right?
Yeah.
And what does that mean to you after Israel is stuck here?
I can roam, ward,
You can
whatever.
go ward, you can check
Default.
Drake, right? If Israel is stuck here under turret, Vladimir is mid, kill mid. It's like if you put Ezreal under the turret right now and Vi is doing Baron, you and Maokai can probably stop Vi.
Yeah, but
So, yeah,
I'm mostly not sure if I'm able to fully shove the wave. And if I'm not sure, I just leave it as it is. Like because if it gets stuck like closer to their turret and not crushing, then I'm doomed because Maokai cannot help me with the push.
yeah, but isn't that basically what we are doing if you slow push?
Yeah, but still a
Right?
bit closer to mine. I don't know. I'm also not that sure, but yeah.
Right, so I really like pushing a lot of the times because pushing again gives you power, gives you prio, makes it so enemy are stuck on the turret and you're not, right?
Yeah, but you see, so they're there. So I don't know if we would be able to do that because, like, mostly my support doesn't know wave management. They know wave management, and they kind of block a crash, and then I'm doomed. Like they freeze, and then I have to put myself in risk to push it. Like again.
Yeah, but again, this position is like you can just shove this, and the wave is too large for their bot lane to really contest you, and they're not even here, right?
Okay.
So it's
Yeah,
like
I have to make better
right?
evaluations there.
So when you find yourself in this position again, let's say, right? What about okay? You recognize this position. You have a choice between pushing or sitting only. So let's say next time you are gonna be like, okay, this time I'm gonna push, use everything on the wave, push it as fast as possible, and see what happens. Right?
Yeah,
see what
I
happens.
can try that.
Right? We try that, see what happens, see if it's better. And I think you're gonna find it better, hopefully. And just keep trying, keep doing it. If it doesn't work, okay, we watch the replay, why wasn't it good? And so on. But if it works, great, we did a good decision, we suddenly improved a lot, right? So I want you to also be more secure about your decisions, right? You don't wanna, as you said, like in the early game, oh, my support doesn't engage, or my support that. Why do you let your support control the game, right? In your mind, you should be better than these players. You're the one wanting to improve. You're the one learning all this knowledge now. So tomorrow, you're gonna be better than anybody in your games. Which means you should listen to yourself more. You should make your own decisions and stick with them. If they are not good, that's fine. We learn. For example, a lot of times we are kind of behind. Teammates want to contest Drake 5v5. I say no. I go mid. I push a turret. I push a second turret. Teammates die. And I'm like, I didn't listen to my teammates. I made my own decision, and guess what? It was good. Sometimes I make something similar, and then I try to go back to the fight anyway, and it wasn't good. So I learn, right?
Yeah.
If I make a bad decision, I learn. But if I make a good decision, I also learn a lot, right?
Yeah.
So try to be confident in yourself, make your own decisions. Don't let the game be decided by your teammates, right? You need to decide the game.
Yeah.
As much as possible. Okay.
See, and again, I'm trying to like, okay, they're closer to our turret. Why don't you engage? I'm already stronger, or something like that.
So
that kind of vibes.
So right now, are you looking for, let's say, MF specific? Are you looking for double ups, maybe? Let's see. Oh,
yeah. If I know the position
already.
Sorry?
Right. I think you missed an opportunity to double up already. Right.
Yeah.
So if your strategy was to take them lower so your Maokai engages, right? How come we don't look for those more often, right?
Yeah.
So, get this minion, and now when the new wave comes in, right? Suddenly look, oh boy, we Q this minion, he gets double up. Oh, right?
Yeah, but like if I'm not gonna crit, I don't use my mana for that mostly. Because again, mana management.
Yeah, but you're full mana right now. Right? You're full mana. It's like not using it, it's kind of wasted time, wasted resources, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And then you use it anyway, and you don't hit him, right? You used it anyway on the minion, and he didn't hit him. So it's like better use it now, even though it's not crit. That's more effective, right? Because at least hit him.
Yeah, and also I guess it creates a kind of a confusion if I don't only crit with double ups. Yeah, I guess that's
they don't expect it, right? Nobody expects it. This is like more MF tip, but I learned it when I played her a lot. Just double up on those full HP minions. They never expect it. It's free damage. If you hit a minion with your ability, it means your mana was used properly. It's good.
Okay. I'll try again.
Okay. So here we
now I'm going for a ward, and I see that, and I madly go for that, and I dodge bars too. So I'm forcing things most of the times.
I don't know where Vi is right now, right? It's a bit goofy. We're taking the support. This is like weird spots.
And my support gets like 3 damage.
Well,
too late. Yeah.
I mean, we can see kind of why we died, right? It's basically, you know, this, right?
Yeah.
So when you are in this spot, right, and you see the enemy support here, and there's a control there, it's like, okay, again, we get rid of bad mistakes, we turn to good habits. You place ward here, and there's a control, you're like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna go back to lane. We don't lose HP for this. No, it's like a control ward, whatever, who cares? Whatever, it's not bad. And if you look at the wave is gonna get reset anyway. It's probably gonna push towards you, especially if you don't basic attack the wave. It's like if you don't have vision here, it's not even important for you if the wave is closer to his head anyway, right? So doing this is absolutely kind of pointless, I would say, right? Even if you don't die, it's kind of pointless. The ward doesn't really help you in this case. Instead, you know, maybe warding the Drake would have been better or whatever. The ward doesn't matter as much here. It's like you wanting to ward, sure, you can ward if you want, but don't get yourself into positions where you're kind of inting for that ward, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this still could turn, like, I was hoping the whole time that Maokai directly engages on Ezreal and I follow, so that we have an advantage, for example, but never happened.
I mean, you know, you're a bit too far away from your Maokai too, right?
Yeah.
Instead, if instead of basic attacking queuing the Bard, you just walk up next to Maokai, it's like suddenly he might look for it. But now it's it's like if he engages here, like you're too far, right? You're hitting Bard right now, right? Instead of walking with him towards Ezreal. And you're hitting Bard, it's like Maokai, you know, if he engages on Ezreal here, it's like, where are you, right? So you can tell how...
Now it's too late. Now it's too late. It had to be the moment I was turning back from the try, I guess.
Yeah, but if because you suddenly engage on Bard, I would say, you know, it's kind of awkward to engage on Ezra right here.
Yeah, but like I always think myself like, okay, I can turn wherever I want, whenever I want, if I have the better position advantage. And if I'm there, it's free damage on Bard, I will deal that damage, and then I will move if there's an engage. But yeah, you're also right. He cannot guess from my moves. I guess that's why sometimes it's better with a pre-made support, because they know I'm gonna turn
matter as much. But for example, here, like if you just, you know, instead of going for the control ward, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're like, okay, we go back. Then Bard clears this. Suddenly, if he's clearing that, with your Maokai, you could engage on Ezreal because he's alone. Bard is there, right? Or even if you grid for the control ward, it's like if you don't hit Bard here and you go next to your Maokai, or even if you basic Q for free and now you go right click the Ezreal, you know, you can look for something. But instead, we are clicking up here, right? We are going up. We are not really next to Maokai, right? We're not playing with him. And even here, like. Bard starts hitting you. Instead of you kiting next to Maokai, you're kiting up again. You're not never getting close to your Maokai. Right?
Yeah. I wanted to avoid a crossfire there between Ezreal and Bard, but yeah, in the end it was a bad idea.
I mean, in the end, it all comes down to this is basically what I like to say. Ever heard of the Swiss cheese model? Basically, you know, the first layer of cheese is you hitting this ward. That's the first layer of cheese, right? This is the first mistake. Okay, if you make this mistake, it's fine. Whatever, it's fine. Whatever. It's not lost yet. It's still fine. It's good. It's good. Okay. Second layer of cheese. After you basically the Bard and he leaves, you don't try to go next to your Maokai and regain control in 2v1. That's the second layer, right? Second layer. And it's like the third layer, it's basically, again, you know, same thing. The Bard misses Q, right? And when he misses Q, don't instant turn Ezreal. Now Maokai has W, he's got Q, everything you could on Ezreal maybe. Like that's the third layer, right? So it's like, even if you break the first 2 layers and you don't break the third, the game is still fine, it's good, you are still in control of winning. But if you make the 3 mistakes in a row, well, it's too late now, right?
Yeah.
And this is why I like to look at mistakes and turn them into good habits, because if you only fix some of them, the most important ones, suddenly, you know, any layer you fixed, now you wouldn't die in this position, right? And you don't have to become a perfect lead player. You don't have to focus on everything. Just focus on some things you make, like the mistakes you make more often than the others, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So from this, you know, remember, never grid through those control bars. It's awkward. It's just leads to really awkward spots that you're not unsure of.
I'm mostly obsessed with words, by the way. Like I always get this having a percentage of more vision score than my opponent. Like
Oh,
that's
look at
my
the
best
vision score. Don't,
symbol.
you're an ADC. You don't need to worry about vision score. It doesn't matter, man. It's like,
And I newly discovered that I'm spending my like too much of gold on pink wards.
oh, you're buying
I
control wards.
sorry.
But personally, I never buy control wards. See, if you look at my
No.
history, 0 wards, 0, 0, 0, 0. It's not really your job as ADC. Your job as ADC is to ward early game with your trinket. You can use that trinket like effectively. You get level 2, you ward. Before Drake you ward, right? That's when you are supposed to ward. You and your support share the responsibility of warding early game. But control wards is not really your job as ADC. To my 75 gold, like you buy 1, 2, 3, 4 control wards, suddenly you're like a longsword down,
300,
right?
yeah, 300,
Crazy.
400 gold, that's right. But like, I'm always like, okay, of course, my jungler is too dumb to buy pink for the Drake, and then we're gonna get our Drake stolen, for example, which is worse than everything, so I
Okay.
buy pink.
So Drake getting stolen because there's no pink. Okay, it's a good subject. Remember I told you like to create those good situations where it doesn't matter what you do, you outnumber them, you win.
Yeah.
Well, how about we start taking Drakes when, for example, we see Vi top, right? And then we do Drake instantly if I can't even steal it or whatever, right? So it's like
Yeah.
that control bar is not even needed in the first place because the position to take the Drake was correct anyway and free, right? So if we know Vi is around here and this is going to be like a 4v4 at Drake, what are we doing? Why are we taking a 4v4 with junglers up at Drake? It's like, it's a coin flip. We don't want that. We don't want to do that.
Yeah,
We want to
it
take
is.
Drakes for free, right?
Yeah, you're
reason
right.
to do
You're
that.
right.
So most of the time, like the control bar never matters anyway. Pointless. Right?
Okay. But I also hear from a lot of like high elo players, like from videos that they are buying pink boards right after they finish their first item. For example, then I made it a habit, like, and I say, okay, extra word, I'll take it. But yeah, probably I have to stop with that. Like,
I mean, if you really want them, it's not the biggest problem, right? Sure. It's not like you're gonna lose the game because you bought a control ward, for sure. It's not gonna happen.
sorry?
Like you're not going to lose a game because you bought a few control wards. It's not game losing, right?
Okay.
But we just wanna buy them when it makes sense. For example, if they have Evelyn, sure, control wards OP, perfect. But all the games, it's not really needed, and buying 1 or 2 sure is fine if you really feel like it. And again,
What do you think about like kind of supportive items like Umbra's Glaive and this other armor pen item which breaks healing effects? Like I most because like I'm also again like we're in bronze silver, nobody buys Umbra Glaive when there is Timo or Shaco opponent, and nobody buys this I don't know what's called wounds, some heavy wounds.
the mortar reminder.
Yeah, Mortal Reminder or this other AP item whenever there's
Yeah, like
Warwick on the
if
opponent.
you need
I
it,
know.
sure, go for it, buy it. Why
Right?
not? Right?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you need
But like
mortar reminder, buy it. Why not?
once like after a while I get like okay, I have Umbra, I have Mortal Reminder. Does it put me back on damage a lot
Not
to an
really.
extent?
They're two
No?
really good items, right? But Umbral Glaive is a support item. You're an ADC. Don't buy it.
Yeah, but it still has lethality. Of course, I'm missing 10 AD there in comparison
Like
to I don't
Umbral
know.
Glaive, I think is like a Sen item, but I'm pretty sure it's only supposed to be bought on supports. I'm pretty sure you shouldn't really buy it in ADC. I think you have way better options, right? Like Yobos or something, right?
Yeah, of course, like they are way better on damage and everything, but like if I end up stepping on a Shaco box or Timo Shroom, or like if I avoid that due to
Like,
Umbra's
if you step
features.
on a shaker box, it means you're walking alone in the jungle, which already is a bad thing to do as an ADC, right? So you don't need it,
Okay.
right? You always want to
Okay.
have somebody walk in front of you as ADC. You never walk into shaker boxes or mushrooms because you have somebody walking in front of you, right?
Yeah.
That's why, like I say, ADC, like the T mushrooms don't really matter. You're not walking in the jungle. Like, you're not doing that. Even in the mid game, you're staying mid lane most of the time, right?
I try to do that, but sometimes I don't because I get like I'm probably fed about the fact that no people or no bruisers, no maids in my team are going to side lanes to take that first outer turret. Then I'm again tilted and I try to do it myself. But yeah.
Well, again, like, you gotta know what your job as ADC is, right? And it's not to do plays alone, it's not to set up vision, you're not the support, it's not to walk in the jungle and place wards, or, you know, it's not your job, right? You gotta remember. You need to do what you need to do, but that's it, nothing more.
Okay.
And for
I
this is
even
another great
sometimes like
example, right?
if they have if they have Timo and Shaco combined in their teams, I mostly take Zombie Ward as a rune and
Okay.
then take Umbra Glaive to counter them all.
I think
Because-
more damage would help you more, maybe. Right?
okay, okay,
The
okay.
threat is dead. They're not a threat anymore, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, good tip. I will also
Right.
write this down.
And again, here, for example, right? This is not what you're supposed to do. You are an ADC. You're not walking in the jungle alone when there's no vision on the enemy jungler, right?
Mm.
Although you know they're doing Drake, but it's like right now you know they're doing Drake. I'm sure in game you know they do Drake. What can you do about it here?
I'm level 6, right?
Yeah, okay, but what can you realistically do here at this Drake?
Like E into alt and hope that jungle's low enough to die to the Drake.
Okay, so you hope, but in League, again, we're talking about good habits. If there's an unknown, consider it to be like the worst case scenario, right? Vice full
Yes.
HP with ult up here. That's what we
Yeah.
know. That's what we know
Yeah.
here. So if you ult, Vice just gonna ult you. You're
Yeah.
dead. It's like you
Yeah,
can't do
yeah.
that. As ADC, like you can't do that. And even if Vi is not doing, is not here or whatever, you can't walk first. You can't walk alone first, face first. You can't face tank. You can't be a frontliner, right? You can't do that as ADC. It's not correct.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
I gotta accept that fact.
This drag is taken. Whatever happens, right? No big deal. We've got some void grabs. Whatever. Good enough, right? We go back to our wave. This is our job. This is our job. Our job is to get minions, get XP, get gold, get items, and carry mid lane game. Right now, whatever. It's like, does this change anything?
Exactly.
He basically reached.
Yeah, and he's not low on
Wasted
HP.
ult, and most importantly, look what they're losing here, right? Oh my god, they're losing so many minions. That's not good. Huh?
Okay, what do I do there? Okay, I try. Yeah, okay.
You're playing like an assassin, man. Just because you buy lethality doesn't mean you're an assassin. Right?
Maybe I have to switch to assassins,
But
I really like the force plays because like I'm always this mentality kills me. I mean, I
as an
have
ADC,
to be.
you gotta understand you can't force place.
Yeah.
Right? And okay, let me give you another like good pointer to remember this, right? So as an ADC, your job is to like get those waves, get the minions, gold, whatever. So let's build a really easy to understand habit for you that you can follow every single game without fail. And that is when you want to walk in the river, right? You need to push the wave first. You can't have minions here and walk in the wave, in the river. You can't do that. No, never. If there are minions here, your job is to stay here. Never, no matter what's happening here. They take Drake, teammates fight Drake. It doesn't matter. You get this wave first, then you see what you can do, right? I think that's super easy to remember, right?
Yeah. I will.
And doing this will work or will be the correct play 95% of the times, maybe. Like, if you push first, then you do something else in the river, whatever, That's correct most of the time, and that's important. Sometimes, sure, it's wrong, but that's only the exception. First, we want to set up rules. We want to turn this mistake into a really good habit. Have this habit first. Then we start adding exceptions. But as a rule, get this wave first, then do something else. Never do anything the river if there's a wave here. That's a really solid rule. I think it's super easy to remember, right? And implement. And again, it's gonna be correct in most of your games. Most of the situations, you need to push the wave first. That's your job as ADC, right? So hopefully, you know, if you do that, you never get yourself into these positions anymore, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And talking about the Swiss cheese model, right? You staying here, it's like you're not breaking the first layer of cheese, which is walking when there's a wave, right? So no matter what happens, it never happens. Okay, because, you know, we, instead of taking the wave, right, you walked, you used ult, ghost, everything, and you lost a wave for nothing. No kill, no drag, no nothing, right? And when it comes to making plays, right, you're an ADC again, remember, you can't do anything. You can't do anything alone. Like, you can't play alone. It's sad, but it's true, right? You're an ADC. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
But, yeah, again, to remember these things, you know, just stick to the wave rule. It is, if there's a wave, we take wave, then we do something else. That's all. And if you do that, right, if you take wave first, it's like your support, your jungler sees there's no wave, there's no action here because you just took the wave, and then they go walk somewhere else. Then you follow, right? It's so much better than going there first.
Yeah.
Here, hopefully recall.
But and exact this moment. So that Bard knows macro. He stops the wave there, even though he's
It's not
getting
really macro. He
unnecessary
just
damage.
wants to stop the wave so Ezreal can get it. But it's like this is another like great rule to form. It's like you push the wave, whatever. You're low HP, low mana, and enemy support does this, right?
Yeah.
Always recall here. Never try to contest this. Even if Maokai tries to contest, you don't contest. You go. You can stay here, right? Again, another super good rule that's correct most of the time. Because if you stay here, Vi could be bot. Who knows what could happen, right? It's bad. And my prediction is that Ezreal will come here and start hitting the wave anyway, and it's not frozen anyway. Because they're low HP, like, it's not frozen anyway. I'm pretty sure it's not frozen. Right, look at this, right? It's not frozen. Let's be honest, right? It's not frozen. No need to worry about it, right?
Yeah, and most of the times the enemy ADC doesn't know how to freeze.
Exactly,
They're
right?
pushing.
Just don't worry about it.
Okay.
And again, there's an unknown, which was Vi. Vi was nowhere to be seen. If you try to do that, when Vi is here, you're dead, right? Can you do that?
Again, we are 2v1. Maokai is like lingering around.
Okay.
I'm getting
It's
mad
actually a
again.
good example. Okay. So you see Maokai is coming, right? You know Bard is not here, Vi is mid, okay. So how about you, instead of basic queuing the minion, you basic queue him in the face, right? Or, you know, he used Q right now. Why do we walk back up? Why don't we basic attack him if he used Q right now? Right?
Yeah.
Or if Maokai is here, why don't you E and start basic attacking him, right?
It might be that I didn't have E there, but anyway. I was doing that for a while in order to, because I was like, I was casting, I don't know, probably in this game not, but I used to do that for a while in order me to not lose my whole mana because I was casting E for no reason. But now, since I did that for a while, I'm not casting E a lot, so now I'm putting a point in E at level 4 most of the time. So I fixed that, but in this one, I guess it was down still.
Yeah, but it's a good example of that proves my point, which is, you know, if you want your support to do something, you need to enable it, to play with them, to allow them to. And right now, it's like, you know, it's a 2v1, but you didn't even have E to engage on him, right?
Yeah, but I also like, I kind of expect all of my teammates to know the game very well, to like to, oh, okay, 2v1, of course I'm gonna run at Ezreal, but then if that doesn't happen, I get mad.
Like,
I have to fix that. Yeah.
The thing is that, you know, it's a 2v1, you should run at Ezreal, right? So why don't you do it? Like what's
If I in this case, my mindset is if I run at him,
Mhm.
he will run away directly, and Maokai will have no chance of engaging. And here I'm trying to bait him mostly, and then if he comes close enough, I will engage. Because like if Maokai engages, I will definitely have time. Like I will give whatever I have to reach that guy and hit him on the head. But of course, Maokai doesn't know that.
well, this comes back to like why don't you ping?
Pinging, right?
Yeah, why
Yeah,
don't you ping? Right? In this
yeah.
position, I would spam the hell out of pings on him. All the
Mm.
all-in pings, I would ping my own flash. If you can't ping allies' flashes anymore, it only says party chat. But ping your own flash. Then they see flash. Oh, they know they have flash. They would flash in, right? But how are they supposed to know if you don't tell them to, right?
Yeah.
So here, I would just
Get it. Unnecessary damage again.
that's whatever. But we're not pinging. Like Maokai has no idea if you want to go. And again, your body language, right? Israel is alone, and yet we're sitting so far back. We are not walking up, right? We're right here. If Ezreal Qs, sure you can dodge, whatever. But now Ezreal doesn't have Q. Ezreal no Q. You walk forward, right?
Mm.
And if you do that, Maokai will know you want to engage. But right now, Maokai is like, look where MF is. I can't engage here, but can't do that, right?
Yeah. Right.
So again, if you know something, this is why I tell you to be confident and make your own decision. If you know something, go for it, right? Go for it. Otherwise, nobody will, because they don't know what they're doing. And here, you see, finally Maokai wants to go towards them, engage, and you are miles away going backwards, right?
Yeah.
So, if anything, this shows you how, you are the only thing that matters in your games. The team doesn't really matter, right? It could be anybody playing Maokai, and, the outcome would be the same because you're too far, scared, right? For kind of no reason.
Yeah, but I have ult again, so yeah. So again, a good point. Like whenever he engages, I show that I'm able to hit. So that I'm trying to create that trust. Okay, man, if you engage, I will hit them. But yeah, not with pings or not with anything. Like you're right. And of course, there's Bard ulti, which he casts a bit delayed on me, but still casts.
Yeah, but
Again.
it's like even if you have ulti right here, it's like if you walk forward, you basic, press the attack, then you ult. Wow, right? Or you
No,
wait for Ezra to use E, then Maokai uses ult or whatever. He doesn't have ult, right? You wait for Ezra to eat any ult or whatever, right? It's like not like it's not. You don't have to ult instantly every single time, right? Especially if you're in a good position, and here if you are closer, really good position to start basic attacking. Right?
yeah.
Especially if you know Bart has ulti, right? You don't wanna ult maybe. Oh, he did have ulti. I'd imagine we had ult for this, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, but let's watch. I guess here I get a double kill. That was the first thing I said. Okay, yeah, man, you gotta do this more often.
But I hope you can see like how you were sitting too far back when we are so strong, right?
Yeah. I could
Good.
definitely do it better.
It's good to know, right?
Yeah, flash and double kill.
Yeah, but you see how this could have happened way earlier if you actually want it to happen. It would have happened, right?
Yeah.
And you get this and get out. Oh no, we are sting for plates. Oh no, you're dead. Where's Vi? Where's enemy mid lane? Mid lane is there, but Vi? Oh no. It's too risky. Okay, another nice rule to have is don't play for plates. You get a double kill, you push the wave, get out. Right, a nice rule. And you might ask yourself why? Why isn't this space free? Well, no vision, right? First of all, no idea where Vi is.
Yeah.
And second of all, it's about the time you have, right? You kill them, they're already spawning, but you're hitting turret. And then it's like they are coming back to lane, and now you're in base. So you basically lose a wave for a plate, which is not worth it, right? Or you lose all this pressure, this time you had for a plate, which is not really worth it. Yeah, I would say like as a rule, like don't hit those plates. It's too risky. And they don't really give much well. They got nerfed as well, right?
What got nerfed?
Turret plate gold. It got nerfed big time. It's like 125 only right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, as a rule, try not to get those plates. Like if you get a double kill, hit the wave. Plates are a no-no. You waste too much time, right? Good to remember.
Okay.
And yeah, this is more MF specific. You want to talk about this situation here, right? In your mind, you're too fixated on using Q on low HP minion to deal damage, right? But
Yeah,
what's stopping you
probably.
from basic Q basing on top of him, right? You don't have to double up to deal damage. You just Q him. Basic
Plus,
Q
press
basic
the
him,
attack.
right?
Yeah.
And you just proc your press the attack. Look how he would be low HP, right?
Yeah.
He would
I
lose
also
300.
try to. Yeah, I try to make that attack habit also.
Okay. Now you're alone, whatever. Don't try to lose HP. No. Okay. Another rule to remember, right? Open is not too overwhelming, right? But again, like you don't have to learn everything I talked about today instantly, right? It's gonna take days, weeks, months, maybe. Just focus on one thing at a time, right? If there's a wave, we stay for the wave, then go in the river. Or if you wanna do something here, wind vision or whatever it is, right? Do one thing at a time. In this game, I'm gonna focus on this. Boom. And do it over and over and over until it becomes a habit and you don't have to think about it anymore, right? Because eventually you're gonna get second wave and the wave is around here, and I'm gonna be like, wait, we don't have vision. I'll set up vision, then we do something here, right? It's just gonna become a habit. And another habit that's quite easy to build is when you're 1v2 in lane, right? And especially if they have poke like Israel or whatever. What's more important? You getting, I don't know, 16 gold from a couple casters, or keeping your HP so you can get the next wave?
Yeah, now it's of course obvious getting the next wave, but there again in a mentality that okay, I'm better than these guys, I have to get all XP and gold possible so that I will not lose this game again, hopelessly, because most of the times again, I guess due to MMR balance, the enemy other laners are always stronger than my laners and they lose big time, and then even if I am doing well, it's not enough to carry. So I guess that's
Well,
why you see in my games like either if I'm like 24-2 doing the most damage carrying the game, or if I lose hard, like I'm not. But like newly I started having this mindset like, okay, my top lane is doing well, my mid lane is even, and I don't have to push plays that much. I
but you
don't have to
never
force.
really have to push plays non-stop, right? Especially if there's many unknowns, or especially if you're 1v2, or you can't contest Drake alone, or whatever, right? Those are things you should never really be doing. Doesn't matter what your team is doing, right? So don't let your teammates like influence your decisions too much. You need to make decisions yourself again, right?
Yeah.
And again, the simplest way to do it is to just make simple rules for yourself, right? Like the ones we talked about. And this is another rule you're gonna learn. There's only like some caster minions under my turret, and I'm 1v2. I back off, I don't take damage, because, you know, here it could have been like full HP, but instead we are chunked like this, and now we can't really get anything. But instead, if you just took those melees, then backed off, lost three casters, it's fine. You are full HP to get this, or do anything with Nocturne, right? Because he's right here. Right? So you see how you don't even have to see that Nocturne is here and you can do things with him. If you just apply this habit, this good thing called I'm 1v, so I don't touch casters. If you do that, it's just gonna lead to good situations, right? So you don't have to worry about everything, like, because you're like still playing in like bronze, silver, right? People here have no idea really what they're doing, so you don't have to do crazy macro play. Oh my god, look at me! Teammates are doing Drake. I'm gonna end the game. No, you don't have to do that. You just need to do simple, basic things, and those basic things that are super simple, they make a huge difference. And why is that? Well, because enemies, they don't know them, because they know League doesn't teach you this. The tutorial doesn't teach you how to give casters when you are 1v2, right?
Yeah,
But
but like
because you
on the
know
other
it.
hand, like there are a lot of videos now out. Everybody is watching videos. Like even the bronze guys know a lot of wave management. Sometimes you're like, I'm surprised that the guys know this. But yeah,
Yeah, but
it is also like.
did you ever see a video that teaches you to not get caster minions when you're 1v2?
No, like,
No,
but they
right?
mostly say, okay, if you're 1v2, don't try to contest any minions. But yeah, casters is a good tip, right? So melees I can get without that much
Right, look, if
pressure.
you should chill here, you get this, okay? You get this melee, okay? You get hit by a Q, it does have Q, you Q here, boom, you back off now, right? You just back
Yeah,
off here, right?
it's
Perfect, we
only
got the
3.
melee, is the 3, it doesn't matter. But instead, we just,
We take a lot
we
of
do this, we
damage.
take this much damage, right? And you know what's
Yeah.
even more funny? You didn't even take the casters. That's even more funny, right? You didn't even get the caster videos, right? You
I
tried to
was
trade with
probably
Ezreal.
trying to proc a double up to get them lower, but yeah, it didn't
Like
work.
you tried to get the casters, but you didn't even get the casters. It took so much damage, right?
Yeah, it happens. It happens a lot of times.
But again,
Which
right?
makes me mad at myself this time instead of my support.
But it's good to see the mistakes you're making,
Yeah,
because you said this happens, right? It happens, which
yeah,
means you make this multiple times, right? It's
yeah,
not the first time it happens. So it means,
yeah,
you are going to recognize this moment again. You are going to recognize, oh, wait. Everybody's top side? I'm 1v2, wait. I know, I've been here. I know what I'm supposed to do now. And suddenly your win rate increases by 1% because you did one thing that you remembered, right? It's crazy. And you do
yeah.
this one, that thing, the next thing, and suddenly, wow, we're actually climbing. It's crazy, right? And we didn't have to do rocket science. Not at
Yeah,
all,
yeah,
right? It's just
yeah.
a couple simple rules, right? That are super solid, super important,
Yeah,
and easy to remember.
yeah. And like also there is sometimes the exact opposite of what happens here. So in this one I'm aggressive, the support is too passive, but also the other thing happens. Like sometimes I have a Swain or Zyra who's engaging the whole time, like poking the enemy down when I'm trying to get my CS straight.
Okay.
And what like I like what do I do on that case? Because then if I don't hit the enemy to get CS, they get upset and then they leave the game or just go to another lane, and like I cannot control that again. It's
It's like in those moments, sure, if you can hit them without them hitting you back, yeah, it's good to hit them for sure. But if you're too far, don't try to walk up. By the time you are there, the CC is
yeah,
over and they turn on you. Don't do that, right?
yeah,
Just if you
yeah,
can't, just hit minions, whatever, it's fine.
yeah.
And if your support deals, whatever, you don't care. It happens.
Okay,
And
okay.
trust me, like again, your teammates is 4 random allies, but enemies, there are 5 random enemies. So chances are that's gonna happen in the enemy team more often than in your team, right? Especially if you
Yeah,
never tilt. Right?
yeah,
So don't worry about those cases and people going AFK and whatever. First people get mad. League is designed to make you mad. Right? It's just how the game is. It's fine. Right? But if you don't get mad, don't get tilted, you have such a huge advantage over everybody else in the game. It's crazy. But yeah, hopefully in this example only, like you see how if you just gave those casters, now you will be able to get this wave as well. You didn't need to recall. You were one first.
yeah.
Okay. We're only minute 14, my god, and we're like 1 hour 30 minutes in the session. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Too much to talk about, right? That's good, it's good
Yeah.
that we have things to talk about. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what's happening here. You're joining from base, you see Ila with TP, oh my god. We are 5 people here, of course we go in. And you follow, okay? With all your might. Very good. And it doesn't matter how mechanically skilled you are in this fight, you right click and you win because you outnumbered enemies. Right? This is what we want. Okay, hopefully you get the next wave and then go Drake. If Noxian is Drake, if not, hit turret, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably get
Okay, it's good. It's
at
good.
the third now.
Okay.
Is this a wrong play? Should I
No,
rotate?
this is fine.
it?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Like turret,
Because
then
like
start.
if I'm doing obvious things with my team when they're gonna do that anyways, like I feel like I'm losing.
No, this
Like
is fine.
additional.
This is fine. Hitting turret here, I would say, is fine, right? Like everybody died from the tier. Why is still dead? You can get turret, go there. Why is dead? That's just not gonna steal it. And also, if you push this, right? Now Ezreal suddenly is forced to get a wave, right? And it's like they can't contest the Drake, so you're hitting turret. That was completely fine, no big deal, no need to overthink it. It's important what you do after taking Drake though. You should have gold. A lot of gold. You recall? Okay. Good. Let's see you move bot. Usually I would say, right, as a role mid game to me usually starts when first turret is broken bot lane. But yeah, if team is, they're still mid, sure, whatever. You can still go bot for now. But after you shove a wave bot now and there's nobody bot, don't stay, go mid, right? Let's see what you do actually.
Okay, but like, what do I do if other guys refuse to protect that turret?
I mean, this turret is broken, whatever, right? But
yeah,
it's
this
like,
is now it is broken, but like, if I have the chance to protect the lower turret and nobody goes there, should I still insist on mid?
if there's nobody mid from your team, you should stay mid. It's not your job to really go sideways, right? But
if they're A-ramming, like if everybody's mid while the bot turret is under
that
attack,
depends. We need to like see an example, but depends on the objectives up. If there's any other enemies, because for example, if your team is A-ramming, right, and you see enemy top laner top or bot, right, it means you're 5 versus 4 on mid. You should fight. You shouldn't go sideline. You should fight. It's 5 versus 4, right?
Okay.
Right. If somebody's breaking your turret on the side lane, and you are A-ramming mid, it means you should fight mid. You are outnumbering the enemies. For sure, take that fight. Ping, go in, use your E to engage, whatever. If you're outnumbering the enemy, you can legit right-click on anybody, take your hands off the keyboard, and you win the fight. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Because if you outnumber them, like you have a whole champion, you have 4 more abilities than they do, it's just crazy. Okay, here you should be farming again. Remember, we talked about the rule, you never do anything here if there's a wave. If there's a wave, you focus on the wave. That's all you have to do here. This is your job right now. You are not supposed to be anywhere else. You're supposed to get a wave. And again, another wave, you get a wave, no big deal. Oh, you don't get a wave. What happened? Let's see what's happening here. So you see this wave, right?
They are breaking my ward.
Oh, they're breaking. Oh no, the ward. Oh no, the wave, right? What do you care about? Them getting 30 gold or me getting 100 gold and like half a level? Right?
I hate when the guys break my word.
Don't worry about them.
And of course, like when the support does nothing about it.
See, this is why I don't buy control wards. You don't care about them if you don't buy them. Right? Right? You see?
Yeah. You're right.
So many things in League that lead up, like one thing leads to another. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what you do here. So it's time to talk a little bit about what they call like tempo, right? And tempo lines and so on. I really like this concept. I think it's quite easy to understand and implement right away. And it's like basically what I do, I draw like parallel lines to the river in a way, and see, who is on tempo, who is on the front lines, who is actually doing something productive to win the game, right? So right now, if you look, it's like, who do you think is doing something productive right now? Who's actually engaging with the enemy?
Yeah. Is
Kayle.
that Kayle?
Right.
Yeah.
So right now, it's Kayle is actually, doing something. He's getting his wave, contextive Vladimir, whatever. She's on tempo right now, right? What about you?
I'm trying to join her, probably.
Yeah, but you're not on tempo right now, right? What about Markey?
Yeah.
He's not there. He's not doing anything, right? This guy. Oh, he's farming. He's not doing anything. Oh, Ilawi. Well, she's farming, not doing anything, right? So now, right now in your Teemo on the front line, or the front tempo line, you only have Kayle. What about the enemy team? What do you think about the enemy team?
Yeah. I can only see Vlad.
Okay, you see Vladimir. He's on the tempo, right? Okay.
Vi is,
Is tempo, right? The tempo means you're doing something to win the game, actively doing something to win the game, which is either hitting a turret, getting an objective, contesting an enemy wave, whatever. So Vi is here. What about the rest of her team?
Yeah, no idea. Probably Bard is sweeping some wards or something, and they're trying to
So
come from base.
remember
Or
what
maybe they're trying to get on me.
right, remember what I told you about unknowns? If there's an unknown, you assume the worst case. So right now, 3 enemies you don't know where they are, which
Mhm.
means you
I
automatically
can
put them on tempo. They are on tempo. They are doing something, right? So right now
Yeah.
you are playing 1 versus 5 as a team, right? So
Yeah.
you wanna fix that as soon as possible, right? So as a rule, when you are not on tempo, you wanna get on tempo as soon as possible. You wanna join, you wanna participate in the game to actually win the game. And
Mhm.
opposite happens if you are actually on tempo but your allies are not. You chill, you wait
Mhm.
for your teammates to come. This is why you don't contest 1v2 caster minions, wait for your teammates to come first, then you do something,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And in this case, you need to join the tempo somehow, right? And if you unpause the game, we just see everyone. We already see everyone. There they are. 3 mid, wide top side, trundle top side, right? And this kind of thought process, you do it while you farm, you do it after you get a wave. You just try to think, okay, what's happening on the map? And right now, all we know is that we need to join teammates somehow. But I talk about
So yeah,
tempo like
me pushing further here is not an option, right?
let's talk a bit about this, right? I was just about to say how tempo lines, I call them lines because it's not a circle, right? Being
Yeah.
on tempo it doesn't mean you have to be here. Being on
Mhm.
tempo means you can actually hit bot turret. You are on tempo
Yeah.
if you hit turret, right? You're actually doing
Yeah.
something good, right?
Yeah.
So here,
But
if
it's
because you
too
see 3
risky.
mid, it's not risk in this case, right? You see 3 mid and 2 top, it means this is free. You can just run it down and take turret. Right? You're no tempo. You're taking turret. You're doing something good to win the game, right? That's an
Uh,
option, right?
it's only 2 enemies there, so 3 enemies could be
No,
a
no, but
bot,
look, look,
right?
look. That's when we pause the game. But if you play the game normally,
Ah,
right? If you
okay.
play the game normally, like you look at the map,
No,
oh,
I
suddenly it
I
lights up,
see
right?
everybody.
If you
Okay, I see
pause the
everybody.
game, sure, you can see.
Yeah, yeah,
But if you play the game, it constantly changes, it constantly shifts, you constantly see enemies, and you just learn more information about the game, right?
yeah.
And right now, enemies are together on Herald. They are playing as 5, and your teammates are not, right?
Hmm.
So another thing I want to tell you about this is it's more obvious when it comes to Drakes, but if teammates wanted to contest this Herald, right, they would realistically only have Kale, Maokai, and Nocturne in Lavi, right? And there would be 5 enemies. We saw that. So allies, they are taking 4v5 if they join this because you're too far,
Yeah,
right? In
and they
this
mostly do
case,
that.
in this case, don't try to join the fight. If the fight is 4v5, you never join. Again, another rule. We talked about good habits. As a rule, if teammates are taking a 4v5, you go do something else to put yourself on tempo. Most of the time is pushing the lane, getting a turret. And in this case, perfect example, you can just stay bot, get a turret. And what happens is that enemies see you push, and more often than not, they send 1 or 2 people to kill you, and then suddenly your team is 4v3, right? Just because you stayed silent in this case, right? And that's
Yeah.
the crazy part about like the tempo concept that I love. Don't
Mhm.
have to be next to your teammates to win
Mhm.
a fight. You can do something else that's also on tempo, and getting a ward doesn't really help. You're not doing anything, right?
So yeah, I also heard some streamers say, as an ADC, whatever happens, run to your team. I guess that was what I was trying to implement there. Like,
Yeah, this is
because I have the mechanics somehow. If the guys are low, I have lethality. I can get a triple kill even though the fight is over.
yeah.
That's kind of like heroic mindset, but like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wanted to also talk about like judging. I don't know to call it distance or whatever. Like judging how far you are off tempo, right? If the
Yeah, yeah.
Herald didn't start yet, it's still full HP, right? It
Mm,
means right now you have time, sure. Like right now you have 2 options: push this or join your teammates right away, right? Again, if you
mm,
are not on tempo, you want to be on tempo as soon as possible, right? And if you hitting turret is the same time as you joining team, the decision make is not that important, right? Both are correct. So in League, again, I want to say like League is a complicated game, and there are always decisions to make. You just take a wave, you need to make a decision. And I want to say how there's never a perfect decision. There's always multiple things you can do. In this case, you can push bot or go team, and they're both correct. Whichever you take, doesn't matter. They're both correct. It's good, right?
Okay.
So in this case, yeah, the fight didn't start yet. Herald is still full HP. Yeah, we try to do whatever we can to join tempo, go with teammates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we go with teammates, we are playing together, this is good, right? But let's say you are in this position and the Herald is like half HP. Well, suddenly it's like, yeah, can I actually join? I'm gonna be too late, right? And that's when you go push bot, right?
Okay.
So this is just one example. Probably you're gonna see more in this game. But I want you to like think about this, that there's always other good things you can do besides just fist fighting or air ramming or whatever, right?
What do you think? That's a good question I wanted to ask you.
Yeah,
Just rewind like 5 seconds. So there is like Kale and Vlad. They're like doing something against each other, and I see a ward there. I destroy the ward first before coming to mid or joining anything.
So
is it unnecessary? Is it time wasting?
When it comes to ward, it's like, sure, you can kite 3 basics and still kite. But let's say I had somebody that was blue side. Allies were here, kind of fighting, you know, because they took a bad recall. They were forced to go base, whatever. And then, instead of them going instantly to their teammates, they stop by Raptors. They take Raptors first. And guess what? That was too late.
Yeah.
The Raptors lost them the game. Because they weren't here fast enough, right?
Yeah.
So again, when it comes to like judging distance or whatever, right? If you think you have time to take it, sure. But if you just see action right, if you see Vladimir engaging on Kale right away, you don't take this. You just go instantly, right? In this case, it's fine. Like whatever, it's cool. Whatever. It's like let's get going. You know, it's not a big deal. You're here. You know, next to Kale. It's fine, right? But you just gotta be careful. Like if the fight just starts right away, crazy, you don't want to take anything. Just go get there as soon as possible. If you're not on tempo, you want to be on tempo right away. Okay, let's see what happens next. Yeah, we push this. Teammates are fighting. Okay, let's keep talking about the tempo concept here, right? So allies are fighting. They are doing something. They're actively fighting, right? Which means you wanna fight as well. Then do something, right? And you could like either join your team, right, or engage on this Ezreal.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what you do. Like if you engage on Ezreal, you're actually fighting as well. You're helping, right?
Yeah.
I mean the execution is bad, right?
Yeah.
The execution is not good. You just walk to him first, right?
Yeah.
But the right idea is here, right? If the others are fighting and you can't really get there in time, you just do something else. In this case, you hit Ezreal, that's fine. Right?
Yeah.
You hit Randall now, good. But I think this is more of an MF specific thing for you. Just, you know, try not to engage with your ult, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially if they have Ezreal or whatever to get away. But we can, like, again, mechanics, whatever. You're gonna get better in engaging on Ezreal, whatever. It's gonna get better. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't wanna.
Again, I'm doing some thing.
You're doing something alone, right? You don't never wanna engage on enemies alone. Right. Got his flash, cool. He would have survived without flash too, but it's fine.
Yeah. Like I am trying to get something out of what I've done.
Let's talk a bit about about tempo. The game is all about tempo and allies. Right now, right? Alright. If you look at the map, you know, enemies could be anywhere, and your allies, Kale is here, Maokai is here, Nocturne is here.
Most of them are AFK.
So playing 2 versus potentially 2 versus 4, right? Let's say.
Yeah.
So these are the situations you gotta watch out for. You don't want to get yourself on tempo while allies are not. In this case, I would just chill. Don't even think about this. Nothing gets done here, and worst case worse, you get flanked by 2 people here and you die, right?
Yeah.
Wanna see anything else?
Okay, now, yeah, you see this passive Maokai decides all of a sudden to run through a turret and go there. And I guess this guy was really. There are some guys in lower elos who are trying to hit Iron 4 and sell their accounts. I've heard of this. I guess this guy was one of them. I don't know. I'm not sure, but
I think he just saw an opportunity. I think he saw an opportunity. You know, I think he saw an opportunity, right? But you can't really join him. It is what it is, right? Again, talking about tempo, right? We look at the map. It's simple to see we are playing 4 versus 5 because Ilau is not here. We are 4v5, right? We don't want to join this. Never, ever. Right? Okay. And here, you know, again, when it comes to habits, if you apply this concept, here you instantly realize this is a 4v5. Yeah. What do I need to do? I need to back off. I need to back off, ping my teammates to back off, go look for something else. And if they don't, whatever, you still the correct play. You didn't join 4v5. That's correct. It's good for you, right? Okay. If I still do it, whatever. Now you see Trundle, right? It's a bit more different. It's a 4v4, but you have no mana. Now it's a 2v4, and you know, this fight is bad, right? It's bad now. Yeah. But we could see how it's bad already from here, right? We already know it's bad here. So we could have backed off way sooner before it got to this position.
Yeah. It was like, yeah. In lower elo again, like you tend to think, okay, if I back off, they're gonna stay and die anyway, so maybe I have a chance of turning it over. But like, yeah, it's not.
Yeah, when you're not sure, you could be outnumbered and so on, right? You go look for something else. Instead, you know, because here's the thing, like, because you stayed here, right? Nothing got done anyway, because it was a bad fight. You never win this, right? So if you never win, you shouldn't stay, because if you stay, you got nothing. You're here now. But if you didn't stay and you backed off right away and looked for something else, you could have gotten a scuttle crab. And suddenly, you're better off than right now, right? Yeah. So this is the nice mentality mentality to have. Like you just don't take those bad fights, look for something else, because you're not gonna change the outcome of the fight no matter what. Especially because you have no mana, no ult, whatever. Right? In this case, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Let's see. And
use an unnecessary flash, right? I could just back off.
Well, the flash is unnecessary because, first of all, right, talking about macro, about tempo, right? Right now, Ilawi and Trundle top, you're here alone. And what about the 4 other enemies, right? They could be anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Could be here. Yeah. And your allies are dead. So it's like, do you defend this alone? No, of course not, right? How about we go take wolves or take raptors? Or even recalling is better because you have no mana. Like, anything but staying here, right? Anything. Even AFKing is better than this, right?
Yeah.
So that's how you are going to start to think after a while. If you implement this like method, just counting enemies and allies. That's all you have to do. You count to 5. That's all, right? Because right now, realistically, you can't really do anything here. I would say they should have dived you by now, but you got lucky, right? If anything.
Yeah, because they didn't have buy until now, and
they finally punished you. You see how this is a nice example to see how enemies, they don't know this stuff. If they knew you're alone, right, they would have dived you because they know they are 4 versus 1. They know they kill you.
Yeah.
Right? But they don't know about this stuff. But now that you do, you have a massive advantage over them. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's insane. And imagine you backed off right away and then you came back here. Suddenly, you know, it's like a good fight for us because you're here, everyone's full HP. Crazy. And you don't do stuff like Maokai going 2v4. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, this guy is really interesting. Like, he was full passive and we were 2v2. And now, when it's 2v4, 2v5, under turret, doesn't matter, he goes in.
It's just good to have an engaged support that actually engages. It's good, right?
In the most inappropriate times.
Okay. You see a perfect execution of this concept that Kayla is doing right now? She's teleporting, you see? She's teleporting top. Why do you think she's doing that? If you look at the map right now, what the situation is.
Yeah, the guys are probably bot and
Right? There's a Drake. Everybody's probably bot. Allies are all over the place. Doctrine is too far. You are dead. So Kale is looking for something else because you can't win this. You're 4v5 or like 3v5, 4v5. He actually comes. So Kale knows this is not good. I'm going to do something else.
Kale was the only person who
Boom.
wanted to win this game, probably in this game.
I hope you see how somebody actually applied this and look how great it was for them. Like the third, right? And if you didn't have TP in this case, right? No problem. We get Raptors, we get Krugs. It's still way better than contesting this. Right? Or look at Ilawi. We don't contest this. We get the next mid wave and pressure turret, right? Yeah. This is good stuff, right? This is what you want to do every game. This is how you win games as ADC. If teammates are not doing anything productive.
Okay. And about contesting like jungle camps, like do I really do that?
About taking jungle camps?
Yeah, like because like whatever I take from jungle, our own jungle is actually taking away from my own jungler. Is that like, or like when should I be taking jungle camps?
When there's nothing better to do and your jungler is not next to you to take them himself, then you can take them, right? Okay. There's a 4v5 Drake fight and you know it's bad, do something else, even if that's something else, taking a camp. That's much better.
Okay.
And in this case, right, you can look at the situation and see for yourself that, hey, look, enemies are here, we are 3v5 maybe. So what do you think you should be doing here, right?
Probably join Kale or Eli. Because like we might end up
that's 3 versus
5. Sorry?
That's a bit far right now. Like, yeah, maybe. Okay. But
I could as well take the bot.
you could take bot, right? Sure, you could go bot. This is bad, right? Or another thing you could do is, there's a bit of a continuation to this like tempo concept. Is the fact that right now you're not on tempo. Teammates clearly are. So you need to do something to help your teammates. And that something in this case could be, I'm going to stop cancel recalls, right? Maybe cancel recalls or something, right? If the enemies are here, even if I die, at least we get this, we get that. Who knows, right? Yeah.
I didn't keep my distance again. He got wiped.
This is a decent example, not that decent, but it's like, even if you died, right, at least you bought a few seconds for your allies to take turrets, right? It's still not that bad, at least you played on tempo, right? But, just, again, when Drake fights are not good, you don't want to join them. That's a nice rule to remember.
Yeah, I could as well, like, really stay back, deal maybe a little bit less damage, but still, like, to be able to run away and take bot maybe later is also still a good option, but like overcommit, right?
Don't overcommit into this really awkward fights, right? Yeah. Especially because on ADC you can't really go melee. And let's see. Let's look at one more thing because we're running out of time. Just one more macro destiny. Let's see what you do after you respawn, right? Let's see. Hopefully you run straight to mid lane to get this wave, right?
Yeah, I mostly do this. Like, I run between mid and bot lanes to decide later. I guess this is a bad habit, right?
You just try to run mid as default from now on. Just try to run mid, right? Because from mid you can be anywhere. From here you can't really be top, right? But if you go mid, you could be top, bot. Doesn't matter. And let's see. So as an ADC in mid game, the game is a turn-based game. You take mid wave, then it's your turn to do something else. 30 seconds later, you come back, get the wave, then you do something else. That's how you play mid game, right? Add this to your list of like good habits to remember.
Yeah. And I guess here, Ezreal is really tanky now, and I still think he's squishy, and I try to kill him in a second. He has armor, right? He has frozen heart and everything.
So no, he's that's bad. Okay. But here, if you look at the map and we applied the tempo concept, right? If you look at the map, I think you can tell me here,
what only one enemy. Yeah. The enemy is unknown. I could as well be 1v4 in here. Yeah.
Yeah, and also Kale is in base, right? Auction is kind of far. He doesn't even have ult. Aka is too far, right? You can do that as a ADC. You can't engage. You can start things alone as ADC, right? Just to see what happens.
What about what Ilaoi is doing? Is it the right choice what she is doing currently?
Right now Ilawi doesn't matter what she's doing. Right? It's about you, right? You basic Q the Ezreal because it looked free. That's fine. You didn't overcommit. That's good though, right? Right now you did the correct decision. You didn't try and you got the wave. That's your job, right? But if Ilawi is doing things, right, you try to put yourself on tempo and. Hitting Ezreal when there's no information is not really on putting yourself on tempo. It's more like griefing, I would say, because you're taking such a huge risk. But now, you get the wave and you start to get more and more information. Suddenly you see two people bot, which means, hey, we could do something elsewhere. We could ping Baron. We could kill this guy. We could push mid. We could anything, right? We can, but you want to do something, right? You try to get Runner. Great. You try something with this, right?
Again, I'm overcommitting, right?
I would say, right, again, as an ADC, you don't want to start stuff yourself, right? You don't want to engage on a turn like this when there's something better to do. In this case, you could be taking mid wave, right? You could just walk here, take this wave, then maybe ping Baron together, or then go on Thunder, right? And I'm curious to see what happens next at this Baron. Because right now, Ilawi is still 1v2. It means you can do things here. You should be pinging teammates to go in or something, right?
Yeah.
Now you see Trundle here. This is good, right? This is probably good. This Trundle is ending. So here I'm pretty sure like you kind of backed off too much. I don't think you even knew where Nocturne is, right? Probably.
No.
Probably, right? But again, this is why this tempo concept is important, right? You just take this wave, right? And then look at the map. Okay. There's people there, Trundle here, Nocturne is here, though. Wait. 2v1. Go. You wait for ult, then you go in. You don't run anymore, right? That's good. But hopefully this shows you how, like, no matter what teammates are, what they're doing, if you outnumber the enemies, you just win, no matter what. Okay. This guy's crazy. You're even more crazy.
Isn't he hinting or what?
No, it's fine, but you're more crazy than him. If anything, you're hinting.
No, what am I doing there? Okay, yeah, I'm already tilted.
Right, so, Trundle is dead. This is a 4v4, right? Because, there's two enemies unknown. Now we see every enemy. No, this is fine. Right now, it's fine, but as a role as ADC, again, remember not to face tank, not to engage stuff, not to, and most importantly, if you turn on Vi here, 4 versus 1, you kill Vi, right? But instead we are 1v3 ourselves now, right?
And I don't respect the Ezreal's any
when this is more about team fighting in a way. It's a nice rule to remember. Team fights, just make sure you always have somebody in between you and the enemy, right? If you are hitting the enemy or like want to hit the enemy and there's no ally next to you or in front of you, you are like, wait a minute, and you reconsider, okay?
Yeah.
If you run towards them, this is fine. Right now it's fine. Up.
Not fine anymore.
Up. We are alone, right? We are alone. Yeah. Like there's nobody in front of us. That's not good. So we just back off, wait for teammates. In this case, we hit back. Okay. Too bad we couldn't do the whole game, but I hope like you learned a lot. Like I think we uncovered a lot of the mistakes you made, and I think we can turn them into really good habits, right? I hope you agree. Like there are things we could definitely turn into good habits, right?
Yeah. There are a lot of things to work on. I hope I will succeed in turning them. But thank you very much for.
No worries. Like again, like this is not gonna happen overnight, right? I want to remember that it's not gonna happen overnight, right?
Yeah.
And again, like take one step at a time, one thing at a time. And I want to ask you, like, do you agree with me uploading this to YouTube? Maybe you rewatch it. It's gonna help you, maybe.
Okay, the session.
Yeah, the session.
Are you gonna like broadcast it or something?
Yeah, I recorded it right now, but like I can upload it to YouTube. That's what I usually do in my sessions. Only if you want, of course.
Yeah, if it's gonna be like anonymous, then I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean nobody knows who you are. There's no,
Okay.
your name is not there. You're just
Okay.
somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, like my name is here in the Discord. That's why I
Oh, I
said.
never
But
leaked your name in Discord. No, don't worry.
okay,
It's
okay,
fine.
okay.
All your league username. That's okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay.
Thank you then.
You're welcome. Do you have any other questions before we finish? Anything
Yeah,
else?
I was thinking about like because my aim is really to climb to some higher ranks as fast as possible as ADC.
Mm-hmm.
I was considering that I played only one Jinx game, I guess. It was successful. It was after watching your videos.
Mm-hmm.
Should I like is it a more reliable option than Misfortune?
Like I always tell
Or,
this to people: like play the champion you enjoy the most. It doesn't matter
okay,
what champion it is, right? What's your favorite
yeah.
champion? What champion do you enjoy the most?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like previously it was Caitlyn, but now it's Misfortune. But when I played Jinx, I also played a couple of normal games in my other account.
Okay.
It also makes fun, but like I'm too like mechanically, I guess it needs more because like you have to kite and hit all the time. Like
Yeah, and then
Misfortune
MF
is like
Vitality is like E-ult, right? I
yeah,
would say,
you
right?
cast yeah auto Q auto ulti
Mm-hmm.
and then
Like
flash Q kills.
it's up to you. Like if you wanna play some Jinx games, sure. If you see the potential, you can go for Jinx. But the champion you play again is not that important. The build is not that important, right? It's all good.
Okay,
So
okay,
just play
okay.
what you enjoy, and you're gonna do just fine. It doesn't matter, like because no matter what champion you play, right? If you stop making
Hmm.
those mistakes that we uncovered, you're
Yeah,
gonna be way better off, no matter what champion you play, right?
yeah, you're totally right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Not really. I'll try to implement these and then yeah, maybe I will fish for
Uh,
another lesson later.
yeah, I wanted
Yeah.
to say like if you try this, it works, it doesn't work, you improve a little bit, try to implement the concepts, right? A
Hmm.
second session to look how you're implementing them, how you're doing, how you're progressing. Like that would for sure help you, for especially because we didn't really have like 2 hours. Is I wish we had more time, but
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
like it's already it's already
Uh,
enough. Like, thank you very much. Like, thank you.
so
I
for sure,
appreciate.
like if you see improvements and so on, right, you want to keep going because you have great potential. I like the thing is that I would say you make big mistakes, which is a good thing because the big mistakes are easiest to correct, right? And they
Okay.
are the most effective in your climb because if you don't make
Mhm.
big mistakes anymore, you make small ones. That's super good, right? You don't contest
Yeah.
wards anymore. You ward when you want to hit turret. You don't take 4v5s. You look where your teammates are. You try to ping more for your support, right? Those are like big mistakes that mean a lot. And once you stop making them, suddenly enemies will keep doing it, and you won't. And it's just crazy. You're gonna climb like a maniac. You're gonna be gold plat in no time.
Okay. Yeah, I will see that.
Yeah, hopefully, like I see great potential. Honestly, like you're better than when I was silver. Like when I was silver, I had no idea. You're better than when I was silver, so you can just improve more than me. When I was just started playing the game, I had no idea what I'm doing.
Thank you very much for the kind words and good
No,
faith.
like you just need
Um,
confidence as well, right? Confidence is so
okay.
important for you. Just remember that. Make your own decisions, stick with them, because otherwise you can't learn. Making mistakes is
Okay.
the way to learn, right?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and if you have other questions anytime, I know I stream. Ask me on Twitch. DM me. It's fine. I don't mind it.
Okay. I will do.
Oh, yeah.
Then
Maybe,
I wish you a nice evening.
I'll see you. I'll see you next time. Maybe. Sure.
See you. Yeah. Take
Okay.
care.
Take care. Sleep well. That was nice. Really nice. It's nice to see somebody in like these lower divisions, like iron, bronze, silver, gold, because they are enjoying the game a lot more. They see the game as way more enjoyable, less tilting, and again, those big mistakes that they make are their strongest points because correcting them is so effective, so OP, right? And this is why if you're low elo, don't be discouraged. It's normal, that's fine. And the lower elo you are, the more you have to learn, the more things you can fix, right? And that's super exciting. You don't have to take to an amplifying glass, whatever you call it, and look for those small mistakes you found from GM to Challenger. Now you just look at the most important things, the big things, and you just worry about that. And you climb a lot more, right? Okay, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.